What's going on, guys? It's Tyler with High Crucible Steels coming at you with another video. Thirsty Thursday. Hope you college kids are having fun but being safe. We all been there. I'm on the eastern North Carolina side of the United States, so if anybody's ever heard of ECU or UNCW down at the beach, holler at you boys and girls, because we're all repping, all alumni. But besides that, we're here for other business, okay? I decided to pump out one more video, and I've been thinking I wanted to re-sharpen this. So I did this on my fixed sharpening angle system, and it did a great job. It left a mirror edge, as you can see, at a 2000 grit. I mean, you know, could go up in grit, and it's super slicey, very behind the edge like most Spydercos are. And I just want to put my own free-handed edge and see how I do. And I'd like to give it a shot. So that's what we're going to do here. I'll take the edge that's on it off for you guys to see, and I'll also go ahead and show you the sharpness of the knife currently. As you can see, it's super slicey. Alright, so honestly I'm crazy for even doing this, but all hell, why not? Let's do it. Alright guys, here we go, back at it. Go ahead and take the edge off of this blade with a ceramic tool on the flat side. I'm just gonna run it right down the edge. Doesn't take more than 2 or 3 to get this thing dull. I think I pretty much got it already. At least we've gotten the apex to kind of a little bit. See what we're looking like now. Alright, so as you can see, it cuts. It's not great. It's very dull at this point. Very doesn't even take any time. Just to show you that ceramic definitely is an abrasive, okay guys, if you were unsure. Also to show off and shout out a few brands that I use and we will be using today. Sharpening has this mono crystal suspension that I use, and I love it. And you don't have to shake it even. It's already evenly distributed no matter what level your bottle is at. Another one over here somewhere. Then here's one that's brand new. So this is what you would end up getting, is a 30 milliliter bottle. Amazing stuff. I recommend getting the 6 micron and the 1 micron and having 2 separate strops for that. And you'll see me use that tonight as well. I did put, this is a sharpeningsupplies.com strop that has a suede side. You can get the smooth or the suede, and I got the suede, loved it. And I have some Diapaste on there. Diapaste is another brand that I've been using. Just so many different brands that do such great things for the knife community, and they're just great quality products, like KPL Original. This is an amazing knife oil. I'll end up cleaning this thing up, and you know, hurt to put some on it right now. It's just amazing stuff, and it also smells good. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled this stuff, but it absolutely smells good. So it doesn't take much. Put it right back over here on my tool stand. And shout out to Sharpal. They have these amazing, cheaper stones, quality stones, the best stones, to be honest, when it comes to no grit contamination. But you really want quality stones. Atoma, look no further. They do have spacing between their mounds of diamonds, but they're so tight and evenly spaced. It's just, you can't compare this to any other diamond. And it is a great 600 that I'm going to use as well. This is the 220 coarse side of the Sharpal, and then I of course have a Sharpal again dual-sided stone with an extra fine 1200 that we'll be using, unfortunately, because I'm waiting on a few 1200 1000 CBNs to come in so I can start finishing off better, because I tough luck with my fine stone wearing thin in the middle, and that's probably a beginner sharpener's mistake, because this is my first stone ever, and I have been doing this only 3 months. And so when I first started, I wasn't sure about pressure and things like that, so who knows, that could have came into play. But anyway, we're not here to jibber jabber, we're here to sharpen, so we're gonna get to it. I like to go ahead and take my angle cube, throw it on the blade, and just go ahead and see what I'm working with. I'm going to put an 18-degree angle, or around there, roundabout, just like I do most of my blades. By the way, if you didn't know, I am an EDC enthusiast 100%. So I'm not at this point in my life. There have been the deer hunter, I have been the outdoorsman, but at this point in my life, that is more in it for the collecting than cool ass knives and sharp shit. and also in it for sharpening purposes. I just enjoy that aspect. Getting insanely sharp is just a really cool thing to me. A lot of people can relate to that. But no, I don't need a Bushmaster 12,000, you know, prove manhood to anybody. So we're gonna get another 18 degrees, figure out where I'm hitting that on my thumb, which is right there. It's harder to do with band-aids, but that's another thing. I use band-aid because especially, well, any stone really, I like to trail my fingers, and what happens is it rubs them raw over time. So I'm to keep that from happening anyway. So this is how you would start if you didn't go ahead and measure that. You see that little shadow right by the apex of the bevel? We're trying to lift by tilting our wrist until that shadow completely disappears. It might even shine the light on the blade for the first time. And that's when you know that you're on your angle and it's ready to sharpen. All right, that's a little bit lower than what I had already planned on doing, but we'll go with it. I love it. Go ahead and take our first few passes. Lock your wrist in. This knife doesn't have much of a curve. It's straight as far as that goes, so you won't see much elbow action here, but I will be taking of the down and side, straight and forward strokes. I'll be careful here because I have had a habit of making my pull strokes a little too wide and slingy instead of more at an angle like I should, and it's starting to make my tips the ball on my tips a little bit wider and lippier, and I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna try to avoid that by doing a better style. I am OCD, guys. I can't trust anything, not even the finger that I already marked and measured. But it is right on, guys. It's 18 degrees, so I should be trusting. Yeah, exactly. 2 coarse grit diamond stone by Sharpal. The other side is a 600 grit. And what we're doing now, guys, is we're starting to establish a scratch pattern on the other side of your bevel. It starts at the top and works its way to the very edge where the edge meets the diamond. As you can see there, we've already gotten the first half. You can tell really easily right here because of the mirror polish prior to this, but you can see the scratch pattern clearly starting right there from heel to tip. I like to use my body because it helps me not only put solid pressure on it without having to put any force and just let gravity do its thing, but it also helps me be more robotic, if you will. I don't want to be too loosey-goosey. There's in between being loosey-goosey and robotic or stiff. And sometimes the stiff is very important, like at the wrist. The wrist must be stiff at all times. If you're not locking in the wrist, you're going to lose that angle and you're never going to get a sharp knife. At least not one with a very reliable blade. And I'm telling you, these diamond stones, it takes no time to get a good burr going. But yeah, it's to get there now already. I'm seeing, I hope you guys can see that, but yeah, we're down to the apex. There's the top, there's the bottom. So now it's going to start forming the burr because we have finally reached that. And once we get a burr all the way down, it's time to sharpen the other side just like that until we form that burr and meet at the apex. And that's what you call a convex apex. Any kind of freehand sharpening always be convex. The only way you're going to get a straight angle is if you're sharpening with a fixed angle sharpening system, like TS Prof systems, like my Xerox Gen 3 German off-brand system that I use TS Prof parts with, and anything like that. There's Lansky, there's Wicked, there's so many different sharpening companies out there, guys, and they all have their pros and cons. Usually you can tell by the price that you're paying for something. That's the same in the knife world to a certain degree. It was storming here earlier, quite bad. Yeah, me and my girlfriend, she came to see me this evening, and still hitting down there at the heel or the very tip. But anyway, we had to make a target run, and of course we went in the rain like young and in love dumb idiots. But she loves Target, and I don't mind it one bit. There's plenty to look at in Target, if you know what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I mean, they do have like men's bathrooms and colognes and things of that nature. And then also like the games, the computer stuff. Yeah, there's for all ages in there. Even mid-30-year-old men, not quite middle-aged yet. This is CruWear blade steel, by the way, guys, so it's not the most keenest of edges to sharpen. You really do have to have diamond steel to sharpen these things. I think these super steels, it just is tougher to sharpen some of these vanadium, high chromium steel that make their sharpness levels so much higher. Yeah, I'm not hitting down here, and I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong, or am I not hitting? It just doesn't look like I'm hitting. All right, let's change it up then. Let's go ahead and let's hit. If we're not hitting it, let's hit it. Basically, it means that there's not much metal still laying on that edge, and we gotta remove it until, well, we hit the edge. So we're clearly getting a burr down here because it's getting nice and peach fuzzy up there. So we're in there in other parts of the blade, but we're still not hitting down here, and I'm just wondering what the heck is going on. Yeah, know what I'm saying? Testing a theory and raising this angle up, and that's not doing it either. Guys, I don't know what the fudge is going on here, but it's kind of pissing me off. Never really had this problem before. Oh, that is just unsightly, guys. We started to get there finally, but it's taken forever with this CruWear blade, man. What the fuck? Excuse my language, it's kind of pissing me off. I was hoping this to be a little bit faster, but no. Just wait until I get my 120 and 265 grit CBN honing stone, and also a 1000 1200, and both of them are dual-sided, by the way. They're going to cut like a champ. Haven't decided when, but I will be getting the DPT, I believe they are. No, PDT, Polish something. Anyway, they make amazing CBN bonded, resin bonded, electroplated, everything you can think of. And honestly, really consistent pricing, I would say. Like for the product that they're serving, I would expect higher pricing, and you can get a start CBN kit for like 200. That's not bad. That's 5 stone of a very great blade. That's the hat start set of CBN. Those are electroplated. I don't believe those are the resins. All right, I think we finally got there. Yeah, but I tell you what, we have taken some metal off of that the parts of this knife. But anyway, no foul, no harm, no foul. We're good. We finally got a burr, and it's all the way down. Yeah, maybe I was a rapper in another life. Maybe not. I tell you what, I got a burr all the way down. I love it. All right, just a few fun strokes then, just to make sure I got it, because I got it like that. So there was experimentation. It has been 12 minutes now, a little bit over 12 minutes. This is just the last time I cut you guys out. So it's been about 20 minutes, probably about 16 to 18 minutes, maybe not 20. But anyway, half of that was talking, but we have been sharpening for quite a little while. So I'm going to stop with that, I think. Yeah, we got to bring this bottom heel part still to a burr. Because like I said, we just now got to the point where it's gotten the apex. Now it's time to make it burr. It does take time. All of this takes time. And in traditional Spyderco plain edge fashion, there is no sharpening choil. And that's okay with their blades, because it really doesn't bother anything about the otherwise. Yes, it's a little harder to sharpen, but no, that part is not going to wear away in a bad fashion. It's just going to go straight up, and that becomes its own little plunge grind, I guess, if you will. I'm just kind of feeling up and down. We're going to figure out when and if I have apexed. So this is doing really well. I'm not very happy with how big and thick that belly is compared to the heel here. That's not very consistent, but it is consistent for this knife. It looks like it's very thin on the other side, even when I sharpened it with the fixed edge. So yeah, be par for course with this particular knife. Not the Manix 2 in general, but my knife in particular. Do you guys follow that Oliver Widget guy that sailed from Oregon? Quit his job at AutoZone, sold his 401k, or emptied it out somehow. I don't know how you would do that, or even, anyway. And then bought a sailboat and sailed all the way to Hawaii. How about that? How about the balls? He was depressed and, you know, the happiest man alive, and he did this with just like, you know, living routines, like, you know, his lifestyle to the EDC slash survivalist mode, if you will, and like freak across the freaking ocean, you know? This is that, the Pacific Ocean, and went all the way to Hawaii. I think we're there, folks. In fact, I'm quite sure of it because I can feel it very much so all the way down. Clean off the stone the best you can with a paper towel, and then now that we have the burr flipped up this way, we have to flip it back down to the other side before we start sharpening. So what I like to do is lay the blade down and do an edge trailing stroke, just like that. And we're just going to do 2 or 3 till the edge of this knife is ready, and it is ready to go. All right, once again, we're going to see what our measurements are here.